let's get into our hot topics. Hot topics. All right. First up, hot topic.
Yes.
Trump shoes. The Trump shoes. What you think of them, Top Talker?
Too shiny.
Way too shiny. Now, Trump and Trump supporters, because we know y'all out there. Come on, what you gonna do with that shoe? Now, you know the shoe ain't shit. When you don't put it on for yourself, how you just gonna display the shoe?
They said, here the shoe, but they didn't put it on.
You ain't put it on, that's how you know.
They're not pride. They ain't taking no pride in that shoe.
He didn't put that shit on.
They didn't put that shit on.
And none of us is about to put that shit on.
No, we're not gonna put it on.
You need, this isn't the 90s, you know what I mean? Where every rapper was dropping the Trump line, the Trump bar, you know what I mean? So you need, but too bad you don't have a celebrity endorser to endorse your shoes.
It's ridiculous.
Come on now. Hey, maybe you can hire Lil Pimp.
It's
I know Lil Pimp out there. Shout out to Lil Pimp. All right, moving on. Beyonce goes country. This ain't Texas. Ain't no hold 'em. Hey, don't lay your cars down, 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 down. Yeah! Shout out to my Texans. What you thinking of the songs? It was two
tell you
songs.
something. I enjoy both of them. Really love that song, the one that you were just singing. And there has been, I don't know who put it out there, and I know that y'all have been seeing this. They're trying to work on the line dance.
Oh.
So everybody are putting in their bids for the line dance, and there are so many different ones. Now let me tell you something. We got to keep it simple, but do know it needs to do the line. We need to make a square. So I just want to say that if you go onto my story, Coco _JNEL, you're gonna see a great line dance that was created by one of my favorite followers.
Oh, let's go. You was getting in your Debbie Allen bag. That choreographer. Debbie Allen was the choreographer. You was getting in your Debbie Allen bag. I said, y'all better listen to Debbie Allen.
It need to hit that and hit that leg, kick it up and turn. Make it simple for aunties. Turn, make it simple for the nieces. Turn, make it.
It need to be simple for everyone.
Simple.
TikTokers, pay attention. Like, I know y'all want to do but guess what? We want to do this outside. Y'all doing it for the screen. We want to do this outside. Make it simple. That's a good point. Now, moving on to the next song, the ballad, 16 Carriages. When I tell you that song,
what did you think about it?
That song just like lives in my subconscious realm.
Okay.
It's just always, it's that like push and pull of the chorus. It's just 16 carriages.
Like if you could like, can you describe how you feel in 3 words of like what does it evoke?
Haunting, triumphant, Beyonce. You know what I mean? And to give kind of like a slant, a different perspective. Shout out to Azealia Banks. Azealia Banks is a music critic now in her own right. Even though we want new music, I will settle for the soap, Azealia Banks. But Azealia, she went on her rant, on her Instagram rant. She said, you know what? Country is going to take a certain theatricality, Beyonce, and you're bringing these R&B vocals into like this country space. So I heard the song again, and I said, you know what? That is what Beyonce does. It could use a little more country twang to it. You know what I mean? Just to give a different perspective. But the rest of the album is on its way. Yeah. It's Act 2 of the Renaissance. She gave us the pop. She gave us the bangers with Act 1. And now we're going to country.
If I could put this last thing, and I'll just say this.
It's hot topics.
Country is this, shout out to the country. Shout out to those that created country. I will say this. Beyonce is giving us R&B, giving us pop vocals, but she's staying in her realm. In her wheelhouse.
See, the word.
I am not mad about it. She didn't get out there trying to be Shania. She didn't get out there trying to be Reba and adding. She ain't country.
Azealia had to throw in them headless chickens into the soup. She was chopping chickens.
I'm not mad.
Hey, no, we ain't mad at her.
No.
Just to give another perspective. You know what I mean? Beyonce doing her thing. I can't wait to hear the rest of the album. Any features you think gonna be on there? Keith Urban. Who do you want? Like an iconic, relevant Luke Combs. Who we getting on this album?
Oh, that's good.
Just someone. Reba.
Yo, she get.
That's it.
That's it.
Speaking of Beyonce, moving over to just as iconic and legendary, former Destiny's Child bandmate Kelly Rowland. Now, the headline reads that Kelly Rowland recently walked out on the Today Show. Now you were saying earlier today that the rumors were going around. It was because her dressing room wasn't prepared.
Something of that. Yep, something of that sort.
All right, so new tea has been spilled. We'll get the tea spilling sound effect. New tea has been spilled
Okay.
that co-host Savannah Guthrie aggressively was asking questions about Beyonce, making it seem as if, it's more important that we get the tea on Beyonce rather than Kelly Rowland, who is a star in her own right.
Yeah.
She collaborated with David Guetta and made countless Europop dance hits. And also, go, 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 go. You feel me? How dare you? That's like, hey, Chanel,
Yeah.
we love that you're here. I love that you're here to Top Talker.
Okay.
Tell me about your friend over there, because we just love your friend over there. Remember your friend over there? Oh, we see you, but your friend over there. It's like...
It's very disrespectful.
It absolutely is.
It's very disrespectful. And she's promoting that new film that she's in, Mea Culpa. And so I think that that's one of the reasons why she was even on the show.
Absolutely.
And for them to kind of continue to press her about Beyonce and a Destiny's Child reunion is what I heard, is what it was.
We're going to get that reunion, y'all. Just wait on it. Damn. Like, the
And
nostalgia.
if we don't, let these people live their lives.
You know what I mean? But Kelly Rowland, beautiful. She has a family. She has endorsements and deals. Let her go out there and live her life and leave her alone, man. Let her live her best life. Because, and this is my last point, she released a song on perhaps her sophomore album or her third album called Dirty Laundry. And she was, in the lyrics, she was talking about, not specifically Beyonce, but just kind of saying how there's this person who kind of overshadows her when it comes to the industry. And it's like, she has already had to deal with that. You're bringing up that dirty laundry, Susanna Guthrie. Go listen to Dirty Laundry by Kelly Rowland. See, people not doing their homework, research when they bring people on. Kelly done talked about that 10, 14 years ago.
You know what it is?
What's that?
They can't get Beyonce. They want Beyonce, couldn't get Beyonce.
See? Just say that. Don't
Just
bring
say
on
that.
Kelly. Don't bring on Kelly.
Don't be projecting on that woman.
Hey, Kelly Rowland, you are always welcome here at the Capital B.
Such a beautiful
Boom
soul.
Live Public Radio Show. Actually, fun fact, Kelly Rowland and I have very similar astrological makeup. We have the similar rising signs, sun and moon.
Huh.
Get that. Take that. Kelly Rowland, come on down to Towson University. Go, 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 go. Okay, moving on. Speaking of Texas, we're going to move on to Gerald George versus the Barbers Hill Independent School District. Now, there's been a recent case that in favor of the school district, saying that underneath the Crown Act, that the school is under every right to suspend Daryl George for having locks that go beyond the eyebrow. I believe that is what the law or the act is calling for. Now, this is a little too convenient, a little too right on the nose. It is Black History Month. Daryl George, who is Black, African American, and having this kind of ripple effect during election season at a time also where this young man, his dreads, and to quote you, like the dreads weren't even like that crazy.
No. The picture that I saw, they were actually pulled back, kind of like in the lock cornrow. They weren't on his face, the photo that I saw.
Yeah.
So I was confused on what the issue was. They were neatly retwisted and they were put away.
Yeah.
And I normally, now when this type of discrimination, and it is discrimination,
Absolutely.
takes place, I'm normally hearing it in the realm of like athleticism. If you're on some type of team where you have to wear your hair a certain kind of way, and typically African American Black women may not wear their hair the same way as their other counterparts. But this doesn't seem like one of those cases. So I think I'm having a hard time understanding what the real problem is.
Absolutely.
If there really
is a problem. And this is an ongoing case. Daryl George has been suspended for months now. Probably won't be able to graduate with his class, and so now it's been taken to the Supreme Court, and now it's on the next tier. This public discourse at the time right now, cut it out. And to quote Daryl George, we've come so far just to hit this same wall again. All right, put Daryl George back into school and make sure that he walks across that stage. All right, Texas. All right, on to Auntie Maxine Waters. Congresswoman Maxine Waters is deeply opposed to the Capital One Discovery deal.
Yes, she is.
Now, deeply, I'm learning about economics. I'm learning about the credit system.
Okay.
Shout out to all our credit card holders. Your debt will be paid off soon. Now, apparently, in just reading from the sources, it's that Capital One is acquiring Discover.
Yeah.
And this is going to make
$35 billion.
Show me the money. You know what I mean? Show me the money. Now, top creditors, Capital One and Discover are the top creditors and loan lenders services in America. So there's that argument, that there's the possibility of more access to these funds for Americans, newly people getting credit cards for the very first time. But then when you have politicians such as Auntie Maxine super opposed to it, and their arguments are saying, this is creating mega banks. This is creating the merger of banks that is going to ultimately benefit Wall Street more than the everyday opting to take out a credit loan type of person.
Well, if we just want to look at economics and how loans work and equitability and all of those things, we know that it is a cycle that perpetuates itself that is not accessible to people that are trying to buy homes, buy cars, invest in things of that nature. It's not set up in that way for some. So I am questioning what the merger do. Now, one of the things that I read in this article is that Wells Fargo did the same thing when they had a lot of mergers take place, and they were able to gain more financial traction. But there also was a lot of fraud and law breaking that was happening when they did these mergers. And I think what Maxine Waters is really bringing us to the light of trying to be preventative and not following those same footsteps. Because with making so much money and putting all of these companies together, it is a setup for more fraud, for more problems initially to me.
Yeah. I mean, fraud being the biggest one, and right on my frontal lobe cortex right here.
Yeah.
Because just the pitfalls that we the people always meet when it comes to taking out loans, starting small businesses. Yeah. So if you're a small business owner, entrepreneur, and much like myself, keep up with this news and inform yourself about the Capital One acquisition of Discover, as I will be.
And do not be snowed by the propaganda that it may include more accessibility.
Yeah. The verbiage, the language, read the small print. On to our last hot topic. What do we have here? Lastly, Houston-based tech company Intuitive Machines has successfully landed their space rover Odysseus on the moon. Now, this is a NASA-funded expedition to the moon, and it hopes to inaugurate a new era of economical transportation around the solar system. Now, the name of this NASA-funded expedition is the Commercial Lunar Payload Services. And other companies are hoping to take their shot at the moon, including Astrobiotech, based out of Pittsburgh. Actually, Astrobiotic Tech. Learning as I go. Astrobiotic Tech, based out of Pittsburgh, and Firefly Aerospace near Houston, Texas.
Wow.
And, it's very much giving the space race from the Cold War. And even reading the article, which I'm forgetting my sources right now. Error. Actually, I can pull up my sources right now. Reading the sources, there's a lot to wade through. There's a lot of vocabulary to. I promise I'm not malfunctioning.
And while you're looking for that, I also found what was really interesting to me is that while this initiative going up to the moon, did you find it?
Oh, well, I sure did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, you want to finish your thought?
Yes. Well, what they are saying is that this also, along with it being some type of economic drive to do more discovery up with the moon and carrying on, they are sending robotic. Is that what you're getting to? They're sending robotic devices up there before they actually send astronauts to develop whatever it is they're interested in doing on the moon.
Absolutely.
My question is, what are they doing differently that they haven't already been doing?
This is the language in the report, the sources that I have, which is the New York Times. That's what I was looking for. The New York Times reporting on it. The language is giving more on the coordinates, the preparation for this space launch, for the rover to land, and less about the purpose of it. And so I'm looking at it from the perspective of performance studies. We're already supposed to say the common readers, and like myself, is looking at this article and saying, okay, I'm supposed to presuppose a prestige of NASA. Now, shout out to NASA doing a thing, letting us know the stars are moving to coordinates.
Yes.
But I'm already supposed to have an understanding of the prestige and the importance, significance of this sort of research. And then when it gets down to the reason why, there's literally just one line saying, and this is very coded language, to inaugurate a new era of economical transportation around the solar system. Now, what's the like how you said? What's the difference between doing this and that? Now, it seemed back then, as far as like what is different from this expenditure than the former one. We went to the moon in 1969. Was it 1969?
It was a time.
It was a time. And what is the difference now? So with the push of SpaceX and just putting everything into context, with the push of SpaceX, with this idea of the next frontier, is this idea that we once had maybe some 50, 60, 70 years ago as a nation, as a collective, is this still something that we agree upon? Is this something that we are now probably interrogating the significance of? Like, why are we going to these planets and collecting these sort of this data?
Well, I'm not really sure if I can answer that, but I do have many questions. And one of the questions is the access and the ability to be able to do so. Like, for example, Elon Musk.
Bezos. Yeah.
If you're making it a certain amount of money, then you're also able to get the access to get spaceships or whatever the case is, devices, to send up to the moon. Now, when I was younger, NASA was very much like heavy on astronauts and exploration and the importance of uncharted territory, and we would learn about those things. But I guess I'm a little confused on what the intention of continuously doing that, and what are we trying to find? What are we trying to discover?
Ultimately, how will it benefit
and
us?
How dangerous is it really?
How dangerous is it really? As soon as I say how will it benefit us, it's making me think of centering myself in the conversation. Perhaps this had nothing to do with me, but it seems like it has everything to do with me at the same time.
I mean, the way they're talking about the climate.
Come on, continue to interrogate, continue to investigate, and continue to be curious as we will. So keep up with the latest from NASA. So that is all for our hot topics. Hot topics.